Hello everyone, I hope you're well. Today's video is going to be an old books book haul because I went to a ton sale and I put it on Instagram and people are like, can you please show us the books? So I am. They're all old, a little bit battered, a little bit damaged, just how I love my books. So a ton sale is what it was at, and I've never been to one before. It's an American thing, we don't really have it in the UK a lot. And it's basically when you get a load of books and you pay by the ton. So it was like £2 a ton, but I was just walking around with books like, is this a ton? Is this a ton? Like, I don't know how much a ton is. I'm not a psychic. I can't measure with my hands. I couldn't work it out at all. So I just bought all the books that I wanted and it ended up working out as 50p per book, which is so good. I have some really beautiful editions here. So I'm going to get straight into it. Swimming! The first book I'm actually giving away to you. I picked it up, it is absolutely gorgeous, but I just know I'm not going to read it. And this is Jane Austen's Persuasion. I've already read Persuasion, I did a whole book review on this channel, so I'll link that video down below. Loved Persuasion, I thought it was so charming, so lovely, but I know I'm not going to reread it. I got greedy, okay, I snatched it up. It's too beautiful. It's a lovely old edition, gorgeous cover on it, and then when you take the Just jacket off, oh, just absolute gorgeous gold embossing. Love this book, beautiful. So I'm going to give this away to one of you. If you would like to win it, then just comment on this video here. You don't have to comment that you want to win it or anything. I'll just all the comments on this video, I'll just pick a random person and I will send this book off to you. It will swim off your way. Absolutely gorgeous. I love that edition. I just know I'm not going to read Persuasion again. I've tried reading Pride and Prejudice by Jane Austen. Too many characters, too little time, couldn't get that one. And then I picked up Sense and Sensibility in the book sale. I don't know if I'm going to read it. I don't know. Is it good? Is it not? Let me know. I couldn't get into Pride and Prejudice, so I don't know. It's just gorgeous. The spine on it is gorgeous. It says Sense and Sensibility by Jane Austen on the spine in gold. When you open it up, the end pages are lovely and it says, every man I will go with thee and be thy guide in the most need to go by thy side. I just thought it was one of those books that I just couldn't not take with me. So I got this, but I don't know if I'll read it. Like, persuade me to read Jane Austen, please, somebody. I then got this by Tove Jansson, and this is Common in Moomin Land. I don't know anything about the Moomin clan, the Moomin family. I don't know anything about them, so I just thought I would give them a read. I really like the illustrations, they're so cute and lovely, but I know nothing about them. Next up is a book that I've already started reading. This is Under the Lilacs by Louisa M. Alcott. Louisa also wrote Little Women, and I wasn't a massive fan of Little Women. I thought it was an okay book, but I didn't get like the massive hype over it, whereas this book is, oh, my heart, I've already cried. Like, it's just so sad and lovely, and it's got that old classic children's fiction where it's all like lovely and idyllic and then some real horrible tragedy is put in and it's just like, oh well, that's life, that's what happens in life, carry on. And it's just, you don't see that in modern day fiction, I don't feel, and I love that about old fiction. So I'm not going to tell you too much, I'm just going to say it's set in a small American town and there's this little boy called Ben and he's run away from the circus, and these two little girls that live in the town, they have befriended his dog who can do all these different tricks, and Ben can do all these tricks. And then one day with their mother they find Ben, and the little girl's mother says, Ben, you're going to have to come home with us. Like, I can't leave you to just be homeless and be a runaway. I'm going to find you a job, I'm going to look after you. And oh my god, it's so lovely. And then the little girl's mum, she's looking after a house for another lady who's a very wealthy lady, and the wealthy lady comes back into town and befriends Ben, but there is tragedy within it, within like Ben telling you about his past is very tragic, talking about his dad is very tragic, but it's so, oh, this is like everything that I wanted from Little Women. Little Women I felt was very kind of cozy and comforting, but there was no real kind of bite to it, there was no real drama for me. Whereas this, it's got the cozy American southern town, but then also with the bite and drama of life. Oh, loving it, like honestly adoring it so much. And I didn't think I'd like it as much as that because I didn't like Little Women, blown away with it. Lovely. I then got this book, which is The Seasons. This is by Lewis Lawrence, and I think this is going to be like The Diary of an Edwardian Lady by Edith Holden. It's basically, he just drew the seasons, and this is his collection of them. The drawings are absolutely gorgeous within it, and there's poems, and this was compiled between 1887 and 1890, and I just think it's going to be very Edith Holden-y, and so that's really why I got it. Lovely book there. I next up have a book that I am so desperate to read, but I wanted a really nice edition, and I finally have one. This is Old Curiosity Shop by Charles Dickens. I read Great Expectations by Charles Dickens, and it is one of my favourite books of all time. If you have not read Great Expectations, get to it. Like, it's so good. And this is a gorgeous edition of the Old Curiosity Shop with gorgeous illustrations within it. Stunning. So I cannot wait to get into that. I've heard so many good things about that story. Next up, I have a Jeanette Winterson. Now, I read Oranges Are Not the Only Fruit, and I thought it was good. It's about Jeanette herself coming out as gay to her very religious mother, and her mother obviously reacts very badly to it. But I felt like there was a lot of humour within it, but I wanted it to be a little bit more serious for my taste, but I liked Jeanette's writing. So I decided to get this, which is Sexing the Cherry by Jeanette, and maybe I'll like this one a little bit better. Next up, I have a Folio Society book. I can't believe I got a folio book for 50p. Anything from the Folio Society I would buy if I had all the money in the world. They make gorgeous editions of classic books, really stunning. If there's a classic that you love and you're always rereading, get a folio edition of it because they're so well bound, they're so well made, they're lovely. This is The Cream of Noel Coward. I know nothing about Noel Coward. I'll be honest now, this was a cover buy. Just gonna be honest with you, this was the only cover buy of the whole thing. Got it purely because it's Folio Society and I loved the cover on it. So I can't wait to read that because that's going to be like a real surprise because I have no idea anything. No, like completely blank. Next up, I have Little Grey Rabbit Goes to the North Pole. This is by Alison Utterly, and I love the illustrator's name. Pictures by Catherine Wigglesworth. It's just so quaint, and I love like quaint children's fiction. Love it. So I can't wait to read that. I then have two Miss Read books, which I haven't read any Miss Read, but I was told by my grandma that they're good. It's set in like an English village, and it's just the goings on of the village. So the first Miss Read one I got, it's got this gorgeous burgundy cover, and it's called Village School. So I got that, and I think it's just going to be about the school. I think that's one of the first, or if the first Miss Read one, but I think this series you can read out of sync. You don't have to read them one after the other. And then I have, get ready for it, Fairacre Festival. Gorgeous cover, and then when you take the dust jacket off, lovely cover underneath as well. Gorgeous book. I want something really quaint and English and lovely, so that's why I'm going to get these, because if I'm in some kind of slump, I think this would be nice books to read to get me on out of that slump. And then last but not least, I have a book for all the plant mothers out there. This is Houseplants by Anthony Mason, and it's all about houseplants, and I just adored the front cover of this. I thought it was lovely. The illustrations inside are really lovely as well, and it'll have a plant, so it has the plant name, and then it will say feeding, tell you how to feed it, propagation, soil, and problems it can come into. And I think it's just going to be such a useful book for me because I have so many houseplants, but I don't really have a lot of gardening knowledge, so I'm actually going to use this for my houseplants. I think it's a really good book, and I don't have any books like this, and I also like how simple it's laid out. It's not like massive essays on like the history of the plant or anything like that. It's like, girl, we got you, this is how to look after your baby, thank God, like how to be a plant mother. That's what I like about that. So that's it. That's all the old books that I've got. I hope you enjoyed this video. I would recommend ton sales because it worked out as 50p each. I suppose just don't get very heavy books. I don't know how it works. Like, who came up with the idea? Let's just get a load of books and weigh them and just sell them to you at the weighed price. Like, it doesn't make sense to me. But yeah, I'm definitely going to go to another one. I'd recommend the Book Barn in Bristol if you're looking for books. It is a barn, my friends, full of books. It has over 1,000 books, and all the books are £1 in there. I mean, you can't really go wrong there, to be honest with you. This is it. I'm gonna go now. I'm gonna leave you, and I'll see you again very soon for another video.